think you're going to have to forgive me because it's very hot and so my fan is going to be on. But we are at the time of the month again where we have the opportunity to do my favorites of the month. And as you know, if you know, or I'm going to say it one more time here, on YouTube, I do an in-depth favorites of the month. So basically, I tell you all the things or most of the things, and they include more than just items that I have bought or more than just physical items that you can hold. It could also include emotional things or activities that I have done. However, on TikTok, in contrast, I only do quick favorites of the month. Like this item is a favorite of the month, or this book is the favorite of the month. If you would like it to be different, or you think that you would be interested, or it is something interesting to talk about, other favorites of the month like activities and all that, I could also put up videos like that, I guess. But anyway, this is an in-depth favorite of the month for the month of June because it's coming to an end. So let's get going. There's going to be a kaleidoscope of items from different genres, different places, different corners of my house that I have picked up. But let us start off with, I guess, the perfumes first of all. These are the perfumes or the scents that I think were really important because it's so hot and you also want to smell good. You also might tend to bathe a lot during the summertime, and so that means you might also tend to spray your perfume more often than you would in the winter time if you do spray perfumes, because perfumes can be really nauseating, and so that means you need to find a perfect one for summer. I will start off with, this is perfect for summer. It is so monotonous and at the same time so diverse. How would I put it? Monotonous in the sense that there is only just one note in this, but it has so much depth to it, because there is also just one note in this perfume, or that it focuses on just one note in this perfume. I feel like it doesn't compete with like your nose and your senses and your sense of smell in trying to like get you to decipher, oh, what is this, what's the top note, what's the middle note, what does it like, you know, ebb to at the end of the day. This is just perfect. Wonderful for summer. I also try, if I'm being honest, I try not to spray this a lot because it is an expensive perfume, so I don't just want to spray this when I'm just, I don't know, going somewhere that I go every single day. But this is a really good perfume for summer. Another two that I think are really identical to any point in time in the year when there are trees out. So it could be spring, it could be summer, it could be autumn, would be the Philosopher's perfumes. These perfumes also smell and remind me of books and tree barks and just paper in general. So I feel like this would be a constant in my life, in the sense of like, it's just too good. And it's very reminiscent of like the environment outside, the weather, the trees, the leaves, decay, birth, nature. And so I think these perfumes are just really good for summer. Eau de Toilette or Eau de Parfum, I can't really remember, but I believe it's either the Eau de Toilette is the one that is a lot more deeply focused on just being about trees and tree bark, and I believe the Eau de Parfum has a little bit of figs in it. And of course, this perfume, I used it a lot last summer, and that's why it's almost finished. I feel like I need to get like a bigger bottle. I used to think that I wouldn't like the J'adore perfumes, but then someone gave me like this small tester or like this mini bottle of it, and I tried it, and I have to say I was quite not obsessed, but I used it a lot last summer. And this summer it's always just been on my mind because I was like, I know this was my scent of the summer in the year 2025. Then we have this new dish. No, it's not a dish soap, it's a hand soap. Okay, I wish I could get this in like a body soap form. It smells of orange blossoms. It really reminds me of like when you go into like the massage parlors. It smells like orange blossom, and that's all I can say. It reminds me of like an Asian holiday or like an Asian spa. Anyway, this is the Kayari 100% organic original hand wash soap, Kazakura, I don't know, but anyway, it's in the orange blossom scent. Another perfume that I think is quite good for summer, but it depends on the person. I feel like there might be a bit of a polarizing opinion on this. Either some people might agree or some people might not. But for me, I just say spray a little bit and don't spray too much of it, and then you're okay. It reminds you of beach clubs and cars. We have Replica Under the Lemon Trees. Maybe like Tuscany or like Italy, Milano. You get the vibes that I'm trying to paint, are you? I have two more perfumes that honestly I'm quite lazy to stand up and get them, but I believe they are over there. One of them is Ilio by Diptyque. That is a very good summer perfume in my personal opinion. I would spray it and be comfortable. The next one is All About Eve by Jupe. I have spoken so much about All About Eve by Jupe that at this point Jupe you might as well just make me your spokesperson because I've spoken so much about the perfume at this point. Anyway, the both over there, I'm quite just lazy to go up and pick them, so I think I'll put a picture up on screen for you. But these two perfumes have also been really good, like a rotation in the summer. Let's go into bath routine or body care routine. So the first thing we have here, this is the body gel or like the body soap that I've been using, shower gel that I've been using for a really long time now. I feel like this is my second or third bottle of it, and it lasts me for a really long time. Not too long, but I feel like longer than the other shower gels I used to use. My shower gels usually run out in like about a month. This one I think goes for about a month and a half. So if this is my second or third bottle, then you can imagine I've been using it for a couple months now if you look back. Anyway, it is from Bailey's and Hardens, and it's goodness, and I always get this flavor, the this scent, tonka bean and neroli. This is the best smelling one to me, in my personal opinion, but I might be wrong and I might change my mind later. All of this is subjective. I love the way it smells, I love the way it foams, and it's right up my alley. Another thing I've been really grateful for is the Sears heat protectant, and it might just be that I'm grateful for it because it's a heat protectant and not necessarily because it's Sears and they've done something really good with this. And I'm not trying to throw shade on it, I'm just like, I know there are other good heat protectants out there that can do even much more better work for my hair, but in general I'm really just appreciative of having this heat protectant in the moment because I straighten my hair a lot right now. I don't want to do braids because the process of getting the braids done and how long the braids can last on me personally before they start looking old and I want to take them out, and then taking them out and then having my hair being pulled and having to wash my hair and repeat the whole process again. I just thought to myself, if I can spend 3 hours every 2 weeks, not 3 hours but give or take maybe like about 6-8 hours if you include washing the hair, conditioning the hair, like I mean deep conditioning with a mask, blow drying the hair and straightening the hair. If I can spend around that time every 2 weeks to just make sure that my hair is always in a condition where I can easily put it up, put it down, put it in any style that I want to look, you know, sleek is the word that I like to use. I like when my hair is like sleeked back and I can just get this look that I desire every single day to go out, then why not? This has been a huge part of that whole process. My hair is already fried in some places and there's nothing we can do about that. I just have to accept, you know, accept what has happened, but this really helpful. Another thing is this, a good deodorant in the summertime is so, it's not underrated, it's just not spoken about because everybody feels like, I guess it's kind of like the can, the root of all evils and the root of all good things. If you don't have a good deodorant during the summertime, it's over for you. For me personally, I find that this is the one that works well. The milky one, the pink one from Nivea, I've tried a lot of them. I've also tried the ones that are like sprays and this just works perfectly for me. It makes me feel fresh. I don't sweat as much when I have it on, especially if I've like used it the night before and then the morning of. It works. One thing I was afraid at the beginning that if I put hair oil on my hair it would make my hair shrink back to its natural state, but it actually doesn't. So if you have fussy hair or something like that and you're thinking to yourself, if I put hair oil on my hair, especially if it's already straightened, would it shrink back? It wouldn't. And I'm just saying it from my experience. Imagine water makes your hair shrink back, humidity makes your hair shrink back. Water and oil, they don't mix. So an oil in just its natural state, not mixed in with any, I don't know, aqua forms, it wouldn't make your hair shrink back. So be comfortable and oil your hair. I use this on the roots of my hair and like the body of my hair. No, I use this at the ends of my hair and the length of my hair. And then I use this for the roots of my hair, like my scalp. This is almond oil and rosemary. I get fresh rosemary. Sometimes I use fenugreek. Sometimes I also use this powder. There's this Indian powder. Something I forgot what it was. But there's another powder that I sometimes try to mix in. But the reason I didn't use that this time is I want to be able to put this on my hair and not have to wash it out. If I use that powder, then I would have to wash my hair out very soon after using the oil. But if you want to make this recipe, this is almond oil, fresh rosemary, and then sometimes fenugreek. You heat the oil up, you don't boil the oil, you don't fry the oil, you don't let it get past its smoking point. You just heat it up and have these things inside and let it steep a little bit in it. And then at the end of the day, as you can see, I leave them inside so that it can continue to process for a longer time. If you don't want to use the oil cold, I use it cold, sometimes I use it hot, depending on how I feel. There's nothing there to it, apart from the fact that it perhaps would absorb more. You can put this inside a bath of like hot water or warm water and it would work. I'll on that note, another thing that I like to use, another reason why I find straightening my hair so wonderful and such a privilege, is the fact that I can use this on my hair. So normally you use this to wash your hair. When I oil my hair, I like to use this to like stimulate my scalp in a way and like push the oil around my hair. And the fact that my hair is straightened also means that I don't have to worry about getting my hair in a tangle where I can't comb it out. So I can use this freely and then just brush my hair out again, and it's not tangled and I'm not pulling my hair. I hope that was really helpful advice, because it's been really helpful advice for me, and I hope it can help someone else out there who has hair like mine and is thinking to themselves, I would like to oil my hair in between the weeks when it's straight or when it's not straight. What should I do? If any of these are tips or ways that you can find out tips for yourself, I would be really happy about that. Going on to skincare, I have really sensitive skin that is not in perfect condition right now. It hasn't been in perfect condition for years. I have acne, I have hyperpigmentation, acne marks, and so because of that, I try to stick to just one skincare routine and something simple. The strongest thing I use is tretinoin, and I'm like, outside that, I'm not doing too much more. Okay, so the first thing I use is this La Roche-Posay cleanser, and I've been using La Roche-Posay for a very long time. You understand what I mean? Okay, it lasts me quite a long time. I believe I can use these bottles for about 4 months, 6 months if I'm really trying, but yeah, let's just say 4. And the reason is I do not wash my, I'm trying to look for how long it lasts. For 12 months, so a full year after opening, and so you're fine to use it for 6 months. The reason why it lasts me so long, I believe, is I only use it on my face at night. In the morning I usually just rinse my face. I don't like cleanse it with soap and something else. And on days when I use sunscreen or I use makeup, I always like to double cleanse. Now, if we're being honest, you know you don't always double cleanse. Okay, maybe not you, but me, I don't always double cleanse, but I do try to, and this is almost finished. So when I use sunscreen, when I use makeup, when I just know that there's been a lot to do when I've been outside, I try to double cleanse. And I love this balm cleanser from Clean It Zero. I believe this is the Vanilla Coal one. It's difficult to find this, guys, on social media, especially on TikTok. The Vanilla Coal Clean It Zero cleanser. It is such a good cleanser for my sensitive skin, I would say, because I have used it and it doesn't break me out. I just like it. Now, so far, the moisturizer that I've been using so far that I find good for my skin, it doesn't make my skin tingle. It also helps me moisturize my skin well. It doesn't also make me break out. Is the numbers in number 1 Pantothenic B5 Active Soothing Cream with Pantothenic B5 plus niacinamide. That was about 4. Anyway, this one, it's from Numbers In. I also just like the bottle, not necessarily the bottle, but the cover. It's really smooth and it feels like a bowed head, an oiled bowed head, but this is really nice. Anyway, now for makeup, I don't wear a lot of makeup, if you've noticed from most of my videos. I feel like so far this, I don't know what video number this might be. This might be video number 17, 18, 16, I don't really know, but I'm believing that this is not yet video 20. So if you look back to all of my other videos that I have posted, you will see that I am not always on makeup. I don't have makeup on a lot of times, but some of the things that I like to do sometimes if I'm going out is to take care of my brows, and in very rare cases, rarer than once in a blue moon, I will use an eyeliner. I use the one from NYX. I believe, is this also from NYX? No, this is the Maybelline Build a Brow Gel. The only reason I like this, honestly, I have to tell you, is because of this part that lets you draw an eyebrow. This down part, you will get irritated, especially if you're someone who finds things really finicky like me. By the time you use the brush and put it back into the tube, put it back into the tube, you will get a little bit disgusted by it. So if there's a way to change that or something about it, that would be really nice. But this other part on top, if you ignore the down part, is really helpful. Likewise, I cannot do without my Hollyland mic. For every single thing that I do that has to do with video format or audio format, this has been really helpful. Otherwise, you're going to hear a lot of the noise. I don't know if you can hear the fan or if you can hear the sounds from outside. The fan, you can probably hear a little bit in the background. I don't think there's much I can do about that. It's sweltering hot. We have a heat wave going on, and so I cannot live without the fan right now. This mic just makes it a little bit more better for you to hear my voice clearly, no matter how far I am from you, because it's connected to the adapter attached to my phone, and it's just been really comfortable. I love it, and I think this was a really good investment. I can't remember how much I bought this. If you do want to see the price of this, I did amongst my first videos, from videos 1 to 2. From videos 1 to 3, one of them is about tech, and in that tech videos I did a rundown of this and I showed the price there, so you can just like fast forward and find exactly where this is and see what the price was. Another thing I find really good, because I was mentioning recently that I started sleeping earlier at night. Some days if it's quite bright, because it gets dark later here, actually if there's light coming from outside into my room and I do not want to close the windows because it's very hot, like I said, is to use this to go to bed at night. This is basically just a simple sleeping mask I got from DM. You can adjust the straps, and I didn't really used to think that I would be one who would need sleeping masks or like them, but if you find that you keep opening your eyes while trying to sleep, like, oh, I want to sleep but my eyes, I just keep opening them, looking around, just put this on and then your eyes are shut by force. I got this with my best friend sometime last year, and she came to visit me, so we got like matching pairs of them. So you can attach them to your hair, your cap, or something like that, or maybe a part of your bed, or even your book. And these parts are really bendy. It has 3 different settings, and she forgot hers, so this is hers I'm actually using. I haven't opened mine, and at any point in time when we get to meet again, I'll probably give her mine to use, because when she forgot hers I started using it. I use at night to read. I don't want it to be so bright in my room, but I also want it to be bright enough for me to see what I'm reading. And last but not the least, I think I should have shown this a while ago when I was showing the things for my hair, but these are like hair clips, and really colorful ones too, that I use for my hair when I'm trying to like section them, not necessarily wash them. I don't use them in the shower, but when I'm straightening or blow drying my hair, especially when I'm straightening my hair, this come in really useful. I also like the fact that they have this rubber on the side of it, and I love the colors. They're so bright. They make making my hair a fun experience, like as if I was back to being a kid again, and I just really appreciate it. So I just realized, I guess at some point this week, that I was really happy to have this. All in all, that has been all for my favorite things of the month of June. There were quite a lot. Oh no, that hasn't been all. sorry, I just remembered something. I feel like the best thing that I was saving for the last. Don't know, doesn't it look so nice? Do you know what this is? Anyway, this is a syrup, and this is the Holunder Bluter syrup. Holunder Bluter. I don't know what Holunder Bluter is called in English, but I'm gonna put a translation up on screen for you. But I had this at an acquaintance's house. They add it to water just to make the water taste a little bit nice, and I noticed that especially when it's really hot, sometimes when you get like tepid water or water that isn't really cool enough, the taste of it isn't really up to par. So this has been really nice. And apart from that, I also like to have juices sometimes, but I know that they're not always very healthy for me, especially if they're not freshly squeezed juice. This is another thing that I can do. You put this anyway into your drinking water, a little bit of it, and it makes the water get like a different taste. So sometimes I do that. I want something a little bit sweet to drink, but not juice per se. So then I put a little bit more of this than I would put into water, and yeah, it tastes like iced tea if you put a little bit more. Anyway, these two, and also this cup that I've been really enjoying. Yeah, I feel like this is really the last of it. I was really excited to show you about this. I don't know how I forgot. I was really excited to show you this. I don't know how I forgot. I am looking forward to finding other different flavors after I'm done with this, because this has been really wonderful and a highlight. I feel like I'm pampering myself sometimes when I just pick it up. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and see you in the next video, which will be coming out soon, hopefully. I wish you good luck. I hope that whatever has been bothering you would be solved soon, and no matter what happens, when there is life, there is hope. We can all do it. Fighting. Bye.